I certainly can't do the like the strength 1 thing, because of the nature of like modification perks. That's really the only thing, is I can't go through the whole game not having the ability to upgrade either weapons or armor. If I did that, she would have to go through the game basically as another version of the Tunnel Snake, where she's sneaking the entire time. Only in this one, she would be allowed to use pickpocket to like pickpocket grenades on their person instead of using whatever. And that will be a thing that we'll try to do as often as possible. I didn't give her a fucking ton of perks because I wanted her to be able to sort of like branch out. We already did this area. I wanted her to sort of be able to branch out towards like doing the pickpocketing thing or doing the fat man or whatever, but I really would like her to have more endurance and some of the like endurance based perks, because I feel like she could benefit a lot from. Sorry, I'm really just looking for safes. I'm not really picking up all the shit, but I may as well while I'm doing this. I'd like her to be able to use the Fat Man. I'm not really concerned about her having Heavy Gunner, but I would really also like her to be able to pickpocket the grenades onto people's persons. I think that would be fun. Last broadcast 24 minutes ago? No, the last broadcast was last night. You didn't miss anything, Aria. After Grandma read it, can I do 100% run? Yeah, that'd be fun. Would you guys like me to do that, where I do a fucking casual run and I do 100% of the game and I don't skip the dialogue and I don't skip any of the cases or quests? Is that something that you would be into?
Got it.
Because, you know, I'm not opposed to that. I just, you know, you have to kind of plan a 100% run a little bit. Because if you go out of your way to try to do everything that every person in the game wants you to do, what's going to end up happening is you're going to find yourself looking at a glitched game because you've gone through and helped out all of the things that the Brotherhood can do and all of the things that the Railroad wanted you to do. Jesus. That's fine. Yeah, it'll have to be. What we'll basically have to do is we'll have to decide which, you know. Well, I think what we really want to do is maybe wait until. I mean, it may be the case after we get done with this, but it would be nice to have like some sort of mod that would remove the Radiant quests. Not meaning that it would remove them all forever, like all of them forever. Just that it wouldn't make you ever redo an area. That's the thing that fucking kills me. I would do every single quest if every single quest involved setting up every settlement, getting every settlement going at 100% or whatever. You know, getting all of the areas cleared. You know, that's the thing that fucking kills. I don't think that you should have to re-clear an area. Feral ghouls are not roaches. They're not growing in the fucking ground. They're fucking zombies. They take hundreds of years to produce. It makes no sense why you should have to come across fucking piles of them in the same area over and over again. It makes no sense. Yeah, the artillery from the Minutemen is okay. But yeah, they're sort of that. It's not a weird build if I do that, but maybe I'll come up with something that makes it weird for everybody to enjoy.
Excellent.
Okay, so we need to not fuck this up. This is going into charisma, I believe. So she actually will have a high-ish charisma. I think it's a charisma 8 right now. And we got all the dudes, so let's start setting up Sanctuary. I would kind of like to have her be a little bit old lady looking while we do this, though. I mean, the vault suit is always going to make you look like an old folk, but it also has a little bit of a cat suit look that's kind of weird to me, so let's see about that. No, we don't need the sea captain's hat. Yeah, that's sort of like Grandma in the night shirt. Like, you stay the night at Grandma's house, and at 3 in the morning she comes pacing out past you in your sleeping bag. That's the Grandma in the night shirt look. I like that. That's a good look. Alright, let's start doing this shit, because it takes fucking ages, and I know you guys aren't into watching this over and over again, but... I mean, and I could use the console to just do this, but... I don't know, for some reason people fucking like to watch it, so... Let's stick all this junk in here. Okay. And let's just start doing this. We shouldn't need this at all, right? I guess let's keep it just in case, but... We don't need that ever, so... I usually kind of just like set these over here so I don't fuck them up. We'll find those secret wrenches here in a second. Yeah, I kind of got the sense that the sea captain's hat sort of made her look like an old woman who used to go out on the boat or whatever. And she would wear the sea captain's hat when she was, you know, being nice to the sea captain. But, you know, that sort of, just, I don't know, maybe it was just the fact that it didn't look like old lady-ish. And one of the things that's nice about old Grandma Reddit is for the first part of the game, at least for a little while, we can have her look old lady-ish, and it's fine, it's not weird. It's not like it could do better, is what I'm trying to say. Like, as far as it goes, she's gonna have like very little armor or whatever right out of the gate. So, all right, let's do this whole house style, because I kind of am bad about it, but we do not need that. The only thing I want my settlers to harvest is potatoes and corn and mute fruit and water. So all of this shit has to go. Plus, the melons and gourds are garbage anyways. Actually, you know what's funny, Hebrew, is those scissors are just actually literally unscrappable. You can't target them if they're on the sink. You can't target them while they're in the air between the sink and the ground, and you can't target them while they're on the ground. There it is, bud. Nope, sorry. You can't fuck with those scissors. I've tried. There was one day where I remembered it, but and I was like, well, I guess you just can't do that. Spoopy, would you please put up who was that donation and what they said in the donation, if I was supposed to do a shout out or any of that stuff. As long as I'm Crazy isn't here, then you got to be that guy. And I don't think he's here. So you got to be that guy. Did he scrap too much? Maybe he scrapped his PC. What did I... Oh, never mind. Some bad shit happened on your end there, droid. Yeah, there's some things that I wish you could scrap that you cannot scrap. I mean, there's actually a mod, I think it's called the Spring Cleaning mod, and what it does is it kind of makes it so that every object in the game is scrappable. Sidewalks, you know, houses that you normally couldn't scrap, they're scrappable now. Bits of the wall, that sort of thing. I like to keep that around, so. I need to do the inside of that house too. I didn't do that yet. I think I sort of traveled from one end to the other. But this big back park area that's right next to the bridge, I sort of like to do this all in one go. Because it kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of helpful. Is that it there? And then there's also this stuff over here that I kind of gotta... And there's actually a first aid kit in this toilet right here. That's like, it actually has stuff in it. But if you're scrapping stuff, then it just goes to your workbench. I don't know if you knew that. That's pretty common. Early scrapping knowledge. When you scrap a safe that's locked, then it goes into your, all the shit in the safe goes into your workbench. So if you don't have advanced lockpicking, you can scrap the safe under the dresser that's next to the fishing rod in this first town. Okay, I kind of did this whole area. Right, there's this stuff and this box here, but we need to go back to the other side of the other side here, because this is sort of, I kind of just followed down the street. So we don't need to worry about those until later, but yeah, University Point should definitely be able to be made into a settlement. It already has shops in it, for Christ's sakes. I really honestly think that it's supposed to be a settlement, but nobody went through and set it up. Or maybe they had too many problems with the, like, zombie whatever type things that they were trying to, like, get to spawn in there, or something. Some fucking thing must have made it so they were like, this is too much of a pain in the ass. Let's just make it not a settlement. Make it look like it's a dead settlement. But who knows? Alright, so we're sticking on this side of the street. I just like to get the stuff out of the front of the street so I don't forget it. Because there's not much in the street, but some stuff is. I'll set that over there. I think there's actually the chemical station, the all-important chemical station in Sanctuary is gonna be right there. And we could, well, no, I was gonna say we could just not do the Minutemen, but we do need to do the Minutemen. In fact, we should back the Minutemen for no other reason than because we're gonna have to do pretty much all the Minutemen quests. Except for their, you know, once we get all of the settlements set up, we don't need to hang out with Preston Garvey anymore. He has a tendency to tell you to do shit that you didn't need to do over and over and over again. Yeah, that's probably true too. But I mean, like, another thing is that they sort of set it up so that the settlements were near to or sometimes right fucking on top of areas where bad guys would respawn, right? So, like, take Outpost of Monja, for example. Outpost of Monja is a pretty small settlement that comes more or less all the way set up. And it has in it, like, turrets and fucking people and all of that shit. So we need to remember not to scrap this. We're going to put it in the street. This will be our fucking bread and butter for this playthrough. So, but Outpost of Monja has a turret that belongs to, you know, like a raider or whatever that's just down the fucking path from where Outpost of Monja is. And the turret and the raider respawn all the time. In fact, I think one of the turrets in Outpost of Monja that's, like, actually hostile respawns all the time. So you have to go through and kill that fucking turret over and over and over again. Especially if you're going back and forth between settlements for whatever weird reason you may have to do that. And if they had done it with University Point, they probably would have had to seriously fuck with all of that shit. Because pretty much, I think they basically just have like a a standard setup to say, all right, well, here's this place. It automatically has something there that needs to respawn over and over again. So come on, target. One thing I kind of like is after you scrap Sanctuary, it runs better. I mean, you usually get kind of fucked on your frame rate up until this happens. Yeah, Sunshine Tidings is another good example where weirdly enough, okay, so the ghouls that are in Sunshine Tidings that you kill to clear Sunshine Tidings, their bodies they go back to where they were originally spawned. They just don't go back to life, because that's obviously something that would be really fucking inconvenient. But I've gone through and set up all of Sunshine Tidings, and when I went, I took all the zombies, obviously, and instead of leaving them in the houses where I was building beds, I drug them outside and took them out back between, like, every single house. And then when I went back after, hours of gameplay, there those zombies lay, just like in the spots that they normally would have been in if I had just killed them right then and there. So, that's a little bit awkward. Reptilians? Are you hearing... Devin, are you hearing, like, background noise that is really hissy? Because it probably shouldn't be like that. I have found out about a more size and settlements glitch and having over max capacity settlers glitch for settlements today, and man, I have not stopped building settlements like crazy since. What do you describe? What do you mean, Spoopy? This max over the max amount of settlers glitch I'm not familiar with. Is it something that like fucking breaks the game in like an awesome way, or just it's something that breaks the game and you have to go through and set up all your settlements or else bad shit will happen? Pictures fucking everywhere? Oh, I don't know what you mean. Oh, you can scrap this fucking thing. You just can't goddamn target it. What's your problem, bud? Maybe not. Yeah, this is something I'm unfamiliar with. You guys are going to have to elaborate slightly. One thing that I wouldn't mind having, I don't know, never mind. I was going to say, one thing I wouldn't mind having is a mod that makes it so that I can just hit the button and it would automatically scrap instead of asking me out every time if it's okay. But that would probably become a pain in the ass after a little while. It would fuck my shit up. But I did put another mod in here. In the game. And we could have modded the Tunnel Snakes level 5 version of the Big Leagues perk, because it's apparently bugged and kind of fucks up the level 4 perk. Well, the Demolition Expert perk is also bugged. I can't remember if it's I think it's from level 3 to level 4. The level 3 perk has a thing that increases the size of your explosions, which is awesome. But it, for some reason, has a requirement that you not have the level 4 perk, which means that your level 4 perk goes back to normal, right? We don't want that to happen. Basically what it'll do is the level 1 perk will give you, I think, 25% more damage with explosive weapons, and then it will give you some of the crafting options. Level 2 will give you more crafting options, and it will give you the little arc that makes it so that you can see where the fuck you're throwing your grenades. Because you can't use grenades in vats, and that's a real bummer, because Grandma Reddit was like, especially early game where she was using just a dynamite, that was bread and butter shit too. She was using bats to make sure that the dynamite would land at the dude's feet. And of course in New Vegas, they run the fuck away. Or they don't run away when you blow up their shit. In this one, the moment they see a grenade, they're like, oh fuck, and they all go sprinting, which is kind of cool that the AI is that good, but I have a feeling I'm about to get hit with a fucking radiation storm. That's the feeling I'm getting right now. Yeah, I have a PC. I don't know if you're talking to me, but yes, I am playing on PC. I'm playing on survival. I'm playing on PC. I'm playing with almost no mods. The only mods I have are a mod to fix the shadows, to adjust the shadows in order. No, that guy's never been scrappable. In order to make it so that it will adjust my frame rate. And the other mod that I have is the mod that will fix the demolition perk. Other than that, we're playing stock, and you know, I would normally just play stock anyways, but we're gonna rely on that demolition expert a lot. It's not like the tunnel sinks where we were getting all kind of damage modifiers, you know. This one, we're not getting any damage modifiers. Those explosives have to do the job all by themselves. There's no sneak attack with explosives, I don't think. It never occurred to me to check. We will be trying to stay low-key because she's a little lady with one endurance, so... But, I mean, if I can avoid getting my fucking ass kicked, I will. Coffee, what the fuck are you doing? Nobody else is apparently hearing a hiss but you, man. You really are, yeah, you really are gonna get you're gonna get timed out for sure. That's how we start. We time people out, and if they come back and they still fucking spam for no reason, some shit that doesn't make any sense, then yeah, they get their fucking ass handed. If they tell me that my girlfriend should suck my dick on camera, or, you know, make some fucking deeply racist remark or whatever, then they get the ban hammer immediately. So if that's what you want, if you want to get banned, then say something fucking stupid real fast, and we can give that to you. That'd be fine. We are not afraid. Well, that didn't take very long. Thank you, Scoopy. They don't have very many rules in this chat. I didn't really put as a rule in this chat that you're not allowed to spam stupid shit for no reason, but I did give a verbal warning. And if I knew what the fuck he was talking about, maybe I could be like, oh, okay. Apparently my audio is not very good and I need to fix it. He could have just told me that instead of fucking acting like a kid on fucking Halloween, but whatever. At least I got the information. This is kind of a zen thing, because eventually I stop thinking about what I'm doing, especially if I've done it, you know, this many times in a row. I can just say to myself, okay, I go to the next house, I go in the front yard, I go in the backyard. But I'm not like telling myself to do any of this. It's like playing Tetris, you know. Eventually you're just like, okay, let my mind work. I know exactly where to go. And when I get done, I am secure in the knowledge that I got everything, or nearly everything. There's a few things in here that I've always wondered about. Some of the stuff I usually forget is like ashtrays on these little sills. But see, isn't this is where the scissors are right here. And as you can see, you can't target them no matter what you fucking do. Even if you stood on top of the sink. Scrap the mirror here so I can get real. Yeah. It does nothing. They're not really real. I can't target them no matter what I do. Even if I scrap the sink and try to scrap the scissors in midair, it wouldn't happen. So I don't really know what to tell you. Those scissors are actually just a bitch forever. Oh, I already did open Ari, I don't know if you're playing. You were the one who was talking about PC Master Race, right? Is that what it is? Can you guys hear my PC fan? Here. Is that better? It's probably, well, I could have put the microphone over here. But if I put the microphone over here, then it would be in front of my goddamn monitor. Let's try that. How's that? Better? Is that good? You okay with that? It's kind of giving me a little bit of a depth perception problem because it's like a thing jutting out at me. But I don't know, maybe it's maybe that's how it is, man. Maybe that's better for you. And at least this way when I look at the camera, I'm actually also pointing my mouth at the microphone. But one of the things that I do usually forget when I go through and scrap. Oh wait, is this where the secret tree was? No, never mind. Secret tree is elsewhere. There it is. There's the secret tree. Yeah, this house right here, in particular, is haunted. It has flies in it. It has magical invisible trees in it. And it also has scissors that you can't scrap in it. So obviously what happened was, at some point in the, distant past, or recent past, somebody somewhere was living there. And they were stabbed to death by a pair of fucking hair-cutting scissors. And their body collected all these flies, and the flies turned into bloat flies. Or, over time, evolved, however you want to put it. And so now there's a special tree that the guy who could not cope with his terrible fucking choice, hung himself from, and now the tree is gone, but it stays there as a haunted object. And the scissors are there, and you can't touch them. And the flies are there. Yay. Using storytelling to explain glitches. Did I sound weird before? Because I don't know. I've never actually listened to the stream, except for when I guess I've never really listened to it while I'm using the mic here. I don't like doing this shit in the dark. Let's do one of these. There's no Ouija boards, bro, Kips. There's only one fucking board game in this historical nightmare, and it's Blast Radius. Which probably that's just a bulged wall. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? Or my eye just exploded. No, it's fine. That was weird. I kind of bounced off the old bed. Yeah, I bet the value of Blast Radius games went up like 100 fucking times once this game came out. Because it was already a really rare or really old game that was like rare and old for the fact that it was nuclear war era shit. So you can't scrap that tree, you can't scrap that tree. You can scrap these wild mute fruit, and I'll go in there in a little while. I'm gonna go in there when I do my fucking mash scrap bullshit. And I'll even turn the audio down on the game or off or whatever while I do that, because that's really fucking... it's really bad. I mean, it's really bad. I want to store the dog bowl, because I want to have Dogmeat have a dog bowl. And then this is the fence that's kind of fucked up. I think you can scrap this bit and this bit, and I think you can actually scrap this bit too, maybe. But this one you can't, this one you can. So I usually leave that pole there just so that I don't have a floating fucking object. I mean, it's Fallout. You can't really avoid just like floating fucking objects, but it's just weird to me that there's just like a bit of fucking fence that you can't get rid of. ASMR build. Well, I did see somebody do they were dressed as Bob Ross, and I think they were playing on survival. And I think that this guy in his head was telling himself that if you play Fallout 4 on survival, that it's like real hard. Like so hard that it'll like fucking break the minds of anybody who happens to see him do it. And he was dressed as Bob Ross, and he was trying to be like super fucking like Bob Rossy the whole time, which would be awful. To try to like make everything into a happy little trash can, happy little chair reference every fucking time. But he was doing okay, but it was just like, Jesus. I could maybe do a build where I play through the game in such a way that it's going to be deeply frustrating. You know? Like I have to kill the boss first of every area, or I don't know. Something fucking weak. Like, you know, a guy that uses the glass cannon build, he only uses fucking minigun, and he can't use anything else, and he can't wear armor, and he can't sneak, or some fucking terrible thing like that, where I'm just gonna die 100 fucking times, and then try to maintain like ASMR voice the whole time.